What's going on, Cancer? I salute the divinity in you, and welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and how you feeling? Feeling fired up? The moon's in Sagittarius. And like the moon in Sag, I think that there's this buoyancy that Sagittarius brings. You go through the waters, the cool waters of Scorpion, you get out, and then it's time to cool off a little bit and go see what else is out there. The adventurers of the zodiac. But we'll get into all that here in a moment. But if you're new here, again, my name is Justin, and know that when you're coming across this video, you're in sync with the moon, and she loves that. But this is also a place for you if you happen to have Cancer in your placements. Sun, moon, rising, maybe Jupiter, wherever. This one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based on that lovely luminary, the good old moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, what she's going to avoid. Of course, just all them lunar shenanigans. Feeling the energy, and you'll understand why in a second. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what fits into your story, discard the rest, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it, because this is a really auspicious energy that's going on here today. And I'm going to shuffle for your general energy of the day here. But depending on when you're watching this, happy Jupiter Day. Jupiter is associated with Thursdays, and I find that Jupiter days can be a great one. You just pay attention to how, if you happen to have an app that tracks the planetary hours, just pay attention to how the vibe moves from hour to hour, because I find that Jupiter hours can be one of where the energy just feels a little lighter, feels a little more kind of jovial, just like a lot more just like lighthearted energy in the air. I think that this can be a great time to, but just I think too, to just like expand one's worldview. This could be a great time for getting on like or spend a day and just like learn something you never knew before. Maybe you're looking into a different culture. Maybe you're studying a different genre, something along those lines. I think that Jupiter days too can be one to just appreciate the abundance that is all around. To have this like this kind of gratitude for that the universe does keep providing. That's I think another way to work with Jupiter. I think really too, just thinking about the faith aspect of Jupiter could be a great time to connect with source, doing some sort of like spiritual practices or anything along those lines. I think would be a great expression of Jupiter Day, or even the Jupiter hours. But another thing that I personally like to do on these days is think about what is my relationship with Big Papa. How is Jupiter sitting in my chart? What sign is he in? How do you do with Jupiter transits? Because you'd be surprised. Jupiter shows up in really cool ways. I had Jupiter conjunct the ascendant, like this was years ago. And like right on the day, that was when I met my partner. That was one of I just happened to be doing a little time traveling, just checking that stuff out, and you'll see some interesting things line up with certain transits. So, I got my ass on Big Papa this time. About to be in Cancer. It's about to be in Cancer. So pay attention to that. That's going to be very, very great for the Cancer placements. So work with that. I mean, even though Jupiter's going through my 12th house, he can clean that up. Let's clean that up and grow from that one. I'm ready. So just some things to think about there. But let's get to the lunar shenanigans, because on the 20th of February, at about 4:55 a.m., and that's going to be Pacific time, the moon is going to enter into Sagittarius. And we're going to talk about the last quarter, because this is going to be happening on the same day, just a little bit later. It's happening like in the early degrees of like Pisces and Sagittarius. But when you do think about the moon and Sagittarius just in general, Sagittarius is the mutable fire sign, active in nature, ruled by Jupiter. And so there's this need for expansion, I find, with Sagittarius. I'm reading this book right now that's talking about, it mentioned the element of fire in that it clings to things. And I think that there is looking at the stuff that you are putting your energy towards, and how is it fueling you? What is it creating? Is it working like a bonfire where it's gathering people around the warmth that is you, and everyone's exchanging stories? That's what I like to think of Sagittarius energy, of what it can do. or is it like another scenario where Sag can be seen as spreading like a wildfire, and maybe the energies are just going all over the place, and there's no seam of structure there. What's fueling that fire, and what do we need to change this up if maybe the fire's been even kind of dimmed a little bit or been just under a lot of pressure here. So that's just like, those are some things I think just kind of think about when you're working with Sag. But I have a chart for you here, as I'd like to do when we get to all of the quarters of the moon. So let me get my handy dandy drawer here. Now we're getting ready to have it be in the last quarter phase, and that's going to happen at 9:32 a.m. and that's going to be the same day on the 20th. And it's happening at 2 degrees and what is that? 19 minutes of the moon's in Sagittarius, and here, let me circle that for you. There she is. And then you have the sun, both freshly in their signs, and now we're into Pisces season. If you have your sun in Pisces, happy solar return. Get on that. You can go ahead and book that solar return reading. See what's coming up for you for the year. But when we get into the last quarter, this is another point where the sun and moon are squared one another. So there's this action that's needing to be taken. That's what I like to think of when you're talking about the squares. There may be some delays, maybe some frustrations, some sort of obstacles that need to be moved towards. And I find in the last quarter, it's looking at the things that we need to release. Maybe you started up something maybe you had a relationship changed, or like some dynamics changed around there. Maybe you started to do something different with your finances. Maybe you were working on a health routine. Maybe you were getting out there socializing, maybe forming different groups, making new friends. And now we're looking at the things that maybe were getting in the way of that. Maybe there's some tendencies that maybe it's like you happen to skip a workout day, and then you start beating up on yourself, and then you happen to miss more days because you already missed that one, and look at it now, let's go like this can start and then the spiral starts. So I think that it's looking at if there are any areas. It's a very compassionate time too, I find, with the third time. So with the third quarter, for forgiving any sort of hiccups, bumps along the way that may have been happening during this lunar cycle here. And just thinking about, okay, you know what, this has been going on. I'm going to take responsibility for this. I'm going to start letting this thing go, start making space for this, start working towards my higher expression here. And go with more discernment, because I don't think too, it's not about letting something just like happen and not learning from it. It's so we don't continue to repeat a cycle. That's where I think the third quarter and just the waning half of the cycle comes into play here, to just like, what, I'm noticing this, if this is something that resonates, I'm seeing a similar theme and it's transpiring through all these different themes of my houses. Something's got to give, at some point. And what a great energy to do that in, to explore that in, than with Sagittarius. What? Let's try to take that left turn. Let's take that leap of faith there. So, but one thing that I find kind of interesting with this one is that let me clean this up a little bit. Imagine the moon has moved a few hours, and so eventually she's going to form an aspect here with Mercury and Jupiter. And I think that there could be, because there's a lot of energy going on here. Like there's a feel, because the interesting thing too is that Mercury and Jupiter are about to form this aspect right after we get into this last quarter. So there may be this question of, okay, I need to expand in this area, I need to let this thing go, and there's still maybe some residue, or maybe some things that just like maybe you've been, maybe you just broke up with someone, but now you're feeling a little lonely, and they're just like, hey, well, can we work this thing out? But it's just like, no, you don't want to work this thing. I'm just throwing out just like some off the wall examples. But this could be a challenge again to that growth and taking that action where it's like, you've been feeling this change needing to happen for a while. Maybe you've been putting it off and putting it off, still of course growing, but there's just this one thing that's still maybe kind of lingering. It's just like, maybe let's go from getting eyes on something to actually taking some tangible steps to change that, because there's a lot of mutable energy in the mix between Sag, Pisces, and Jupiter. All of these signs, by the way, are in either Jupiter's under the care of Mercury, and the Moon and Mercury are under the care of Jupiter. Oh, and I didn't quite circle these, but I think you saw where they were connected from. There's Mercury there. Oh, there's Big Pop. That was an awkward circle. We're just gonna yep. Okay, we're here. I'm gonna delete that. That never happened. But let's go ahead and switch over. That's even better. But I think that there could be this. The mutable signs are about changing something. This is the last of the modalities before we get back into the cardinal energy again and get ready to initiate something. So just kind of take a look at what maybe has been lingering, what has been something that's been like I need to have this. Maybe it's a conversation that's needing to be had. Maybe there's a document that's needing to be reviewed, whatever that might be looking like for you. But one thing that I'd like to talk about as well is the saving symbol for where the moon's at. I'm debating if I'm going to do it for the sun or not. We'll see. But for this one, for the phase where the moon's at, this is phase 243 of Sagittarius, and it speaks of two men playing chess. And the keynote for this is the transcendent ritualization of conflict. And when I think about that energy, what kind of comes up for me is, in life, and just thinking about Jupiter. Jupiter's the wheel of fortune in tarot. There are going to be moments of triumph, and there are going to be moments of conflict. It's just how the wheel. If the moon doesn't teach us anything else, is that life just waxes and wanes all the time. And I think that it's not just doing that to just keep us down. It's just like, okay, you're growing, and so this is the new set of responsibilities that come with said growth. And so there's always going to be a conflict. But when you get through it, then bam, you feel great afterwards. And it's just like, you know what? I can do more. Now I'm feeling like I can aim bigger for myself. And look at you expanding, Jupiter. And I think that this two men playing chess is coming at it instead of, you can get frustrated and just flip the board over and nobody wins. But that's the thing, nobody wins. This could become more of where we're playing a game where oh my gosh, like the game of life. I love it. The game of life and how to play it. This is like a series of books by this person, Florence Shinn. This is a great one. It's just got a bunch of like affirmations and just like interesting stories just to think about. I'll tell you what, I've been doing an affirmation out of that every day since I've read it. And it's right by my bed, and it's the first thing that I say every day. And it speaks of just like miracles being just abound. And I'll tell you what, it is nothing but miracles abound all the time. And that's not to say that there isn't conflict going on. Oh, there's plenty of conflict. But you know what? There's more magic than anything else. I have more tools to work with. I'm moving in spirit, man. I'm moving in spirit, and spirit's providing. Like, oh, you got to work. Today I got to work at it a little bit. but it's fine. Spirit will let you know exactly what you need to do. And that's where I think that this is coming to, like, instead of making this like a conflict, make it a ritual, make it something that it's where it's like, you know what, that was a good move, universe. That was a good move, and I see you and I raise you because I'm me and I can handle this. And I think that it's, when you go to look at yourself, you know what, whatever life, I got it, I got this. This is gonna improve always whatever's going on, and yeah, that's basically what I want to talk about there. Let's get this adjusted. Oh, and you know what? Before I switch over here, if you want to work with the moon or any of the planets more personally, there, down in the description box is a link to get in touch with me for my services. I'm working on, I think I said last year that I'm not planning on moving for a while, and I'm getting ready to move here soon. so it's fine. The days are getting closer. So I'm still got some things that I need to get edited as far as that, but know that you can get in touch with me there, and yeah, we'll go over the services that I provide and see what works for you there. So if that's something that resonates, definitely check that out. But let's go ahead and switch over. And the last couple things, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situation. And I'm going to ring this bell to bring in some good vibes, welcome spirit in. So let's go ahead and give this a ring and get into this thing. All right, I'm with it. All right, let's see what you got going on here. Ooh, interesting. All right, so we got the Seven of Pentacles here, and the Seven of Pentacles. This is a big one. I think this is about a patience right now. I'm thinking with this Sag energy, I'm getting a feeling of needing something to move along, feeling like almost feeling stuck in a way, and I don't think that it's because I don't. It doesn't seem. It's not that necessarily that you don't have the resources that. It's just like maybe it's just taking a minute for the things to come together. Like let's say you're getting ready to get down on a car, but you got to we're building. We got to set aside some. We got to do some juggling here, and that's like one example of how that may be coming through there. I'm getting the word I'm getting the word contract. Maybe there's something you're waiting for, like some kind of transaction to come through. Maybe you're waiting to hear back from a message from someone, possibly if things are going to get moving. Just kind of maybe being in this sort of limbo place right now. I am getting to a message about not waiting too long on doing something. Like if you have any sort of like documents maybe that are needing to get signed, the sooner you get the things moving, the better. Let's get some tarot on this and see what's going on with this Seven of Pentacles. Interesting. So you have the Queen of Cups here. And there seems... It feels like something's brewing in the Queen of Cups. Like, it's like there's a need of keeping things calm on the surface while she's having to deal with this stuff behind the scenes here. I would be mindful about how maybe if it's either you or maybe there's someone that may be projecting their emotions. Yeah, just a small message about stress and how the Queen of Cups may be managing this. Let me get a clarifier with her. Interesting. So you got the Ten of Cups here. And I think that there's... I think there's a wanting to be on the other side of something. like wanting to be on the other side of a situation. Like maybe there's been the Queen of Cups has been handling some sort of emotional stress or something along those lines here. This is the Lord of Satiety here, the Ten of Cups in the Thought deck, and there is this sense of being satiated to almost to where we're over full in a sense, almost like up to the point of just uncomfortable here. And maybe there's something that she's keeping pent up. Let's get some more on this. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Oh. All right, so you got the devil here. There's Capricorn. And maybe that's one way. this Queen of Cups here, this satiety. You know, I would say be mindful of how, because I think when you can get lost in the emotions, sometimes just to get to the semblance of feeling good again, feeling grounded, there are other ways I think it's a saying here with the devil of going about getting to that state of feeling more in control of something. Maybe this is a need where if you've been in a lot of feelings, to just like get in touch with the body, maybe do some stretching, or maybe just like clean up around the house if that's something, like just kind of tidy up a space, or I even think doing some sort of writing here, some sort of journaling. But the devil also too, there's some matters at hand. I think some things that the Queen of Cups, even if she's feeling overwhelmed, that she has something that she needs to take care of too. Let's get a clarifier with the devil. Ooh, all right. All this earth energy. So here's Taurus. You got the Hierophant here. I'm getting something with the Hierophant. One, in needing to get to connect back with oneself. I think that's something's got out of hand here. Interestingly, I'm getting with like the Ten of Cups. It could be like, let's say if this was like a relationship and you were to get back with someone, there were going to be this change, there are these promises that were made, and now you're at that happily, it's like, okay, I thought this would be because you think even in like the Rider Waite, there's this like happily ever after, the family's together, that things are coming, the wish is fulfilled, but then it's like, okay, but what about the next day? It's not. You say happily ever after. It's not the end. There is tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes, and it's like, something's changed. It's like it's not. Something's not quite there. I'm not. That's take that. Take that if that resonates. I am getting an aspect of patience with the Hierophant too. there's a mention of this Hierophant that he only moves every 2,000 years or so. And where I know you don't have, 2,000, that may be a tall ask. I do think that there is a need to just kind of be patient with something, not force something along here. With both Taurus and Capricorn, they're not fast movers. And that's fine. They don't need to be. But sometimes I think that maybe even there's could be this being bogged down by just earthly things. And maybe you've been doing things a bit orthodox, like the Hierophant can be. And maybe there's a need to do things a bit out of the box and get a little creative, maybe. Let's get another one on this. Ooh, what's good? There's my girl. There's the Empress, and this is so. In this deck, there are two Empresses in this deck, and this is Mama Empress. This is Big Mama Empress. There's a big, and then there's a baby Empress in this one too. But when you get the Empress, there's there is this abundance that does come with her. And Taurus being one of the signs that she rules over. I think that there's this thing when you're tending to, because I like to think of Taurus as the gardeners. And when you tend to a garden, you can't rush that. It's going to take as long as it's going to take. And there's something here about not looming over something, not waiting over something. And that might be what that could be. Maybe you're waiting on someone else to maybe do something. And the Empress is not just a receptive energy. Yes, she receives, but then she acts on the messages that she receives. Like, okay, this feels like the right time to do this, to respond on this. Here's the conditions have been met. I've attracted the things, the resources that I need to get this, because this is a lot of feminine energy between all the cups, the earth. There's a lot of even your general energy, a lot of receptive energy here. And that might be something too. It's just like there's a need for it to maybe act on something. Maybe the Queen of Cups has been longing to feel this Ten of Cups energy. And there's something, maybe the devil, that's getting in the way. And it may not be just like a force that's getting in her way. It may just be like inertia. You can't just, you can hope and wish in things, but eventually you have to take, I guess you can't take 2,000 years to step. like this Hierophant here. Sometimes you may have to take some actions, but let's get something with that. Interesting. That's interesting. So you got the Princess of Disc here, and she's like, principal manifester. She's like if you're trying to get something started, I think that is just like, it's a have patience. The resources will come, and maybe that's what this Empress and all this earth is. It's like keeping the feeling while attracting all of the things. The Queen of Cups moves maybe in a subtle way. It may not be, and maybe that's what this is. Maybe it's not going with, like, for some, like, again, to apply it to your situation. Maybe if there's, again, some heat that's needed, apply it. But this could be something where you're just needing to it's just like give it some time. Give it a moment to, things are lining up. You don't have to force a situation to happen. The second you step away, things just present themselves. You know, it's not operating from a place of, we're not yelling at the plants to grow. You know, that's what I'm getting here. There's and maybe that could be a problem here, or maybe a challenge with the Sag energy, because there's a need to, a wanting to move. But let that fire just be. There's something about the Queen of Cups here maintaining just the flame there. But let's get some advice from Big Papa. Interesting. So you got the Fool here. And one thing that I was getting is that a not jumping ship. You know, I think that there could be this sense of, oh, this didn't go as I expected, so let me just abandon the whole thing. And that's not what I think that this is. You know, I think that this is like you made the leap for something. So just trust that feeling when you had that sense of that something needed to be changed, and that know that the resource, because this is really really potent stuff here. The Empress, the Devil, the Hierophant. Because the Devil too is not for me just like this sense of addiction or toxic. This is the perseverance to fight through those things. And the Devil deals as Lord of the gates of matter. You know, so all things that deal in this realm here. I'm getting something, even a message about not falling for like an illusion for something. Let me get clarifier with the Fool. Ooh. Interesting. So you got the Adjustment card here. Libra. Let's go ahead and switch over. So the Empress is in full strength right now. That's interesting. So with the Adjustment card being here, this is what I mean. I think that things are coming together. The steps that you've been receiving, the resources that you get, it's like there's going to be a way of working with something. This is not, the work that you've done has not been in vain. Now it's like maybe the waiting process right now. It's like, but there's going to be a time where things are going to start moving again. And this is the time to just get ready. Like, okay, once this thing gets going, I can get this thing prepped. Or maybe I need to plan for, like, okay, maybe if this thing doesn't work out, just for a peace of mind, just so I'm not thinking about it, have a plan B set up, feel good about that, and then just leave it alone. Then just go about to tend to other things. And then things will start moving in that area. Is an energy that I'm getting. But there is a lot of attractive energy with, again, the Empress being Venus with her signs of Taurus and Libra. Yeah, something very interesting with that. But I think I'm going to leave that there. lot to meditate on there. But if you like that, if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this thing if you know somebody who would get a nugget of wisdom from this. And subscribe there, you Empress. Hit that bell button to get notified of all these videos each day. And then I'll shuffle for your surprise cards here. But if you want to know what's going on with the other celestial bodies in the sky, on my other channel, Alchemist 8, I do weekly videos coming out every Mercury day, and that's a Wednesday. coming out and talking about how to work with the energies, how to set intentions, and just to find out where these planets may be transiting for you in your chart. Just some things to think about there. And there are also these planetary videos talking about all the celestial bodies and, well, the classical planets right now in different signs, in different houses, different signs and different houses. That's it. So definitely check that out if you want to. And I have playlists for all of the videos that I've done thus far. And if there's one that I haven't done that you want to see, or one that you want me to elaborate more on, definitely leave a comment. I'm there for it. But let's get into your surprise card here. Interesting. I'm with it. And that makes sense. You got a lot of it. So you have the protection card here. And with that, especially with all the majors that you got, the 5 of them, I think that there is a lot of divine protection. I think there's a need to be, because again, that Fool, it had been very receptive, and then it just like a burst. It's like you're gonna know when to go, when the time is right, or when the thing's alive. The stuff is gonna start moving again, but something's balancing out. It's like this, like spirits received your order, and now it's cooking. now it's just cooking it up right now. But when you move like you are protected, Spirit makes a way for you. And I think it's doing those affirmations is a good one, having just like that connection with Spirit, whether it be through prayer, maybe it's through meditation, maybe it's through drawing, whatever medium. I think that there is something, especially like the Hierophant being there to get through maybe the tougher times with the devil, having some sort of structure, maybe some sort of thing that helps keep you motivated through those times there. So that's something I think to think about too. But yeah, I think that's all I got for you. So until next time, keep eyes on that moon, keep raising that vibration through the roof, and I will catch you on the next one. I'm going to catch you Saturn Day.